And this week, we we continue this month of April. The theme of the month is Giant Gentleness, and we started with that theme. And today is the third week of April, and so we continue with our conversation. But today, our topic for this Sunday is community outreach. And what I know is that throughout, there's so much happening in our communities, right, in the world. But first is our family circle. Then we go outside of our family circle and we have a community, no matter where we are, whether it's a spiritual community. I belong to a swimmers community, hiking community. So wherever you involve yourself in, that is a part of a community, because where one or more come together, you are forming a community. And as a community, you choose to make choices, to make decisions, how things are gonna be done. And in our country, in our towns and in our countries, we do that as well. And all around the world that happens. So a bunch of communities come together, and then we get things to make sure that things flow with ease and grace. Unfortunately, sometimes what I've noticed is that because of disagreement, we don't agree with how others are thinking, or how others, their values of others, we might begin to judge and begin to feel certain emotions, and that's when the ego gets the best part of us, I think, right? So we want to make sure in this conversation that we're having today with Patricia is about how can we be in our communities, in our towns, in our countries, because what I know is that it has a ripple effect, right? What we do in
Mhm.
our family, it ripples into how we are in our communities and how we are in our neighborhoods and in our countries. It shows up because what I know is that there's only one, right? There's only one, and is each one of us seems to be separate and different, but at the reality, on the essence of it, there's only one. So it affects all of it. So on this day, I want us to have for you to keep that in mind, to keep that idea in mind of how how am I showing up in my community, and um, what effect am I making on others? What is it that I'm doing? What am I focusing on? Am I focusing on bringing gentleness into a community, or am I bringing other than gentleness and good vibes into the community so we can be in a better place? So, Patricia, as we dive into this conversation, into this juicy conversation, um, what would you say, especially now, right? There's politics, we have social media, there's so much going on just in politics. Some of us have decided to be anti-politics or not
Mhm.
be too involved into politics because there's so much stuff going on. There's the energy in that arena is so confusing sometimes. And I'm going to speak for myself. I'm going to speak for myself. To me, is sometimes overwhelming that
Mhm.
I'd rather not even know about it. And sometimes I wonder, am I being a responsible citizen or irresponsible citizen because I'm not being too involved in it? But for me, what works is to kind of just look at it from afar and kind of just feel and see the love in the messiness, if that makes
Mhm.
sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot
You
of
know,
sense.
what
That
would
makes
you say? What would you say, Patricia? What is your take on that?
we just had a conversation this morning, my husband and I, about what's going on in the Middle East,
Mm,
and one of the things I said is I need to be conscious of my thought, in terms of what are the seeds that I plant in my mind in terms of what's transpiring. So for me, it means that I need to show up. We talk about love, right?
mm-hmm, Mm-hmm.
In this moment, in this place, it's love.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's how do I prepare myself on sometimes it's almost on a moment to moment basis. But in the mornings, one of the things I do is take that time to go into prayer, to not only pray about, my intention for the day, but also pray for what's happening around the world. I can't, I mentioned this to Rodney, I cannot control what's going on in the world. What I can do is control how I show up in the world. So with all of this, the things that are happening, I continually need to be mindful about what I say, what I think, my actions, and also how I interact with people as I move through my day. So I try to be courteous and considerate of others, definitely. Try to lend a hand when I possibly can. And there's something that Reverend Rodney put on his podcast, not podcast, but in his blog the other day, that said, cultivate the practice of kindness, compassion, and empathy in your daily life. Be embracing the power of gentle giants and sowing seeds of kindness. We can then contribute to being a more harmonious and interconnected world. And this totally ties in with what our CSL mission is a world that works for everyone. But seriously, for me, I need to prepare myself, my mind, because when I get caught up in that whirlwind of, oh my God, what's going on in the world? How come this is happening? Why are people doing this? All of a sudden, I've lost me. And I've stepped out of trying the love that I try to bring into the world, into the whole consciousness, the race consciousness that's going on. And the bottom line is I lose focus, and then I get caught up in it and get angry and upset instead of stepping back. So the way that I can help out is how I show up, but also support. Like there are organizations that my husband and I support financially that are doing really good in the world and also within our community. So within our community, we're supporting things like Souls Harbor, which basically is a rescue mission for people who are homeless. We support the Salvation Army. We support the women's centers, that thing, so that they can go out into the world and that they can help people. Internationally, we support World Vision and also Doctors Without Borders. So different organizations that we support where we feel that our money is helping out around the world. And that's how I show up. That's what I think is important. And also my practice. It's really important for me to do my daily practice, which basically is like I get up in the morning and I do my prayer work and my meditation. I do a couple of moments of yoga and Tai Chi. Tai Chi helps me balance. It's almost like a meditational movement. And my reading. And then midday, if I'm freaking out, which sometimes happens because I am human, I stop and just go back into prayer and just say, I know that there is a divine intelligence, that divine wisdom. Breathe and allow it to be. So that's how I try to show up.
That's so beautiful, Patricia. I have a quote here that says, the principle of love is the great transforming power which brings every is good. This quote is beautiful because it really speaks into what you were speaking about. You were speaking about love. Love is the answer, and how to bring yourself into oneness with that love, with that divine essence of who you are, so you can show up as the divine, as an emanation of that divine love. Because what I know is that God is using each one of us, is living life through you and me.
Right.
And through each one of you that are listening to this podcast, that are listening to this Sunday celebration. It really does. The day that we remember that God is living in us, through us, as me, as you and me, then we are really are aligning ourselves with the truth of who we are, and then we can show up in a better way. And I love what you say. Yes, we are humans.
Oh yeah.
We are human. I was just thinking about the spiritual essence of who we are, but we also must acknowledge and honor our humanity. Right? We must honor our humanity because it's part of this experience that we are having. So
That's
we
right.
don't want to just kind of just push it aside or pretend ain't happening. Right? We can't pretend what's happening in the social media or in our communities or in the
Mm,
politics that is not happening. We cannot do that, right?
no,
We cannot do
no.
that. We gotta. And I love what you said that you know what, I might not be able physically be able to do something, but I use my resources,
Yeah,
what I have, so it can be used in places
yeah,
that can support
exactly.
that can
Exactly.
support and bring the light into those places.
Yep. Hmm.
And the most important thing that I think that each one of us can do, the most important thing is for us to do our daily practice, right?
Yep.
Our daily practice is so important because what I know, and it scientifically has been shown, that when I do my practice, I am helping the whole. I'm not
Hmm.
just helping me, but I'm helping the whole. The day that I really understood that, and that I read that resource that proves scientifically that that's happening, I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
Now more than ever, I'm more motivated to
Hmm.
do what I do every single morning. And for me, I am blessed these days to be able to go and swim at the beach. And every morning, that is my morning meditation, my morning practice while I'm there swimming. I am just being grateful, being filled with gratitude for this opportunity, because I know that at one point I wasn't able to have that opportunity. So I am really, really grateful for it, and to see the beauty that is everywhere, to be able to see the beauty, not just the ugly, right? Because a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
times, Patricia, how
Yeah.
many times do we focus on the ugly? How many times do we focus on the
Too
hate
much.
that is
Too
around the
much.
world?
Right. 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 I mean, if you think about the media, the news, I mean, I know I normally do not listen to the news anymore because there really isn't anything that people are saying that is really positive, you know. Um, but take an example of the solar eclipse. All of the news around the solar eclipse, all of the experiences that people had around the solar eclipse were very positive. And so many people came together as one with one focus on the solar eclipse. Why can't we live that way daily? Really,
And how
it goes back to the commandment: love thy neighbor as thyself. And the second, there's in Matthew, um, uh, chapter 22, verse 37-9. Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it: love thy neighbor as thyself. Now, here's the deal.
hmm.
First, I have to learn how to love myself because I can't love my neighbor if I don't love myself.
That's
So I have
right.
to learn how to love myself. And then if I think of myself and I show up in the world, would I treat myself like I treat my neighbor? If, like you're thinking about what's going on in the Middle East, if I love myself and you're my neighbor and I love my neighbor, would I treat you that way? No.
Mhm,
It's
mhm,
it's the same
mhm.
thing about what we put on social media. I try to
Yes.
put things that are positive. videos, pictures, sayings, etc. I've seen some unbelievable things on social media that I would never, ever really put on or allow somebody to share it on my Facebook page. I've deleted stuff off my Facebook page because people
Yeah.
think, well, this is nice, I should share that with her. No.
Yeah. I agree with you. I love what you just said, because you know what, from the beginning, I remember from the beginning that I started doing that I started connecting with social media platform, with any social media platform. For me, it's about bringing light into the world. It's
Yes.
to be an agent of change, to be an agent of love, to be an agent of hope,
Right.
of what we really are. Because I have a quote here that said by it says, "Love alone reveals love. Hate by hides the glim." Ernest Holmes, What Religious Science Teaches, page 12. And I believe that. I really believe that if I am love,
Good.
I am sharing love. And that goes everywhere with every act that I am about. Whether I am at the store, whether I'm at the bank, and on social media, no matter where I'm at, regardless of what other people are saying, are doing, I have to stick to love.
Right. Exactly.
And that sometimes, believe you me, ain't easy.
Can be challenging.
It can be challenging. It can be challenging. But what I know is that it's not impossible.
Right. Right.
It's not impossible. And one thing that I can share with you that works for me, Patricia, is that when I see unloving things that people do or say, you know what I do? I breathe and I pause and I don't say anything, and I just say, "Ellen, just stay grounded. Remember your
Yeah.
truth." And I keep saying that to myself. Just stay grounded. You don't have to say anything. Just, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. And having that practice, oh my God. Or not only that, but allowing others to be who they want to be. Let them be. If that's what how they want to show up, if that's what they want to say, that's okay. You know what? I have come another something happened to me a few days ago, and I had an experience a few days ago, which one I'm speaking about. I was tested to see if I really can practice this, and I'm so proud of myself because I did it. And after that, I was just like, wow, yeah, I'm getting this. Yes, I'm getting it. You know, I told the person, you know what? If that's how you feel, I understand, and it's okay. I don't agree with you, but it's okay.
Right. Right. Right.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts and your opinions. That was it.
That's powerful.
I didn't feel like I needed to defend myself. I didn't feel like I needed to defend my position. I knew that I did what I did because I needed to take care of moi.
Right. Right. And so that you came out of that feeling really positive about what the transaction, instead of feeling really, oh, really? Did I do that? And then feeling guilty about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Because yes, I love what you just said. Feeling guilty about it. It takes a lot. Because most of the transactions that we do with others, right? When things are there's no harmony, when we have disagreements, right? Especially in a community, when we're in disagreement, it's easy for us to start defending our position.
Oh yeah. You stepped on my toe. Yes, exactly. So
it's so easy for us to start defending our position. And that's what happens in politics. That's what happens in family. That's what happens in social media. That's what happens everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Anywhere you go, it happens.
And the practice. No, continue. Go ahead. Continue.
What I have found is that it's okay.
It is
If
okay.
I could if I could just stay in the not judgmental space and saying it's okay, it's not good or bad, it's just is what it is.
Hmm. And you know, the interesting thing is catching ourselves when we are judgmental, because, like I said, you know, we are human beings, we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and the bottom line is, yes, we do form judgments, yes, but when that happens for me, I can stop now and go, is that reality? You know, is
Mm.
that really what's happening? Or why are you judging this situation or this person or this experience right now? So it's really teaching me to step back and question how I show up, really. Um, and do I go through the day without judgment? Come on, let's get real. Be nice. It would be nice. But the other part of that is that, you know, I can now stop myself and I don't have to go down that pathway, which is really good,
Yeah,
you know.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. I love what you just said too. You know, we can stop ourselves because, again, remember,
Who's in
once
control? What did you just say?
that you are judging the
Mm-hmm.
situation or whatever is happening, it's okay because the beauty of it is that you can always, if you always catch yourself, that's where the power is,
Yeah.
right? The fact that we catch ourselves judging and that we can say, ooh, I said to myself, ooh, Ellen, you judging. Ooh, ooh. No need to do that, my dear. I speak
Yes.
to myself like that. And to me, I didn't come to this space yesterday. You know, this is new to me. Like the last few, I would say the last 5 years, really. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I'm growing more into it and more into it. I can catch myself more into it because it has become a practice for me. That is also a spiritual practice.
Yes, it is.
So it's like you say at the beginning, moment to moment. Sometimes we have it's a practice of moment to moment.
Ooh, yeah. Definitely. Oh, yeah. And you know, when we talk about the practice of moment to moment, I think a lot of for me is when that happens, I just step back and breathe, take a breath. In taking that breath, it's sort of, it's almost like I've been doing some Vipassana meditation, which is all around breathing. And in taking
Mm,
that breath, it almost like resetting the dial so that I can now move into a different place of consciousness
mm,
instead
mm.
of getting caught up in the oh ain't it awful kind of thing, you know? Yeah. That's been helpful, really helpful.
Yeah, yeah. I think that as we almost come into an end to this conversation, I want to leave you with this quote that I've here. It says, "If we will look for a God of love, we must look long and deeply into each other's. We must look away from the difference until we penetrate into the unity of whole." That
Mm-hmm.
is so beautiful.
It is. It is.
It is so
Mm-hmm.
beautiful.
I love it.
And it says, "Love alone reveals love." Oh no, let me see. Yeah, I had just made this just one part, but love alone is love, and hate has no power really. You know, when we love and we just focus on love, then we can definitely be the love that we want to see in the world, be the
Mm-hmm.
change we want to see in the world, and then things begin to dissipate. Okay, sometimes
Mm-hmm.
we don't have to be the ones changing the situation because the power of love begins to dissipate
Right.
whatever is not love.
Mm-hmm.
It's like magic, that's what I know.
And I have this, I don't know if you can see this, but I have this on my desk as my affirmation for the day. Love speaks to me all through the day. And when I step away from that, and this says, when you don't know what to do, focus on love. Love is an infinite intelligence that will always help you if you let it. So just allowing that to be going, okay. Huh. And this is one thing I showed Reverend Rodney that I hand out to people. And it says, who you are and what you do is greatly appreciated. Thank you. Have a beautiful day. And so that makes me feel good in terms of showing up. And it also makes people feel good and acknowledging who they are as a being of light, a being of love, a being of spirit. Yeah.
That's right. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And well, I think that we have, through this whole conversation that we have had, Patricia, what I love about it is that it was a conversation that really flowed. But if you are really listening to our conversation, we were giving you practices that we ourselves practice and we know they work. And you might have a challenge at the beginning. And that's the reason why you want to make sure that you connect with us if you need prayer, for that to be easy for you, to become easy. If you need support for practitioner service, also remember that, okay? We didn't just step into this that we're speaking to you like this. It's a practice. It's a continuous practice. And so please listen to very careful, even if you have to listen to the recording. We have given you a lot of practices and easy because they are very simple. What I know is that they're very simple, practical, and it's all a matter of you saying, yes, I do want to be an agent of change. Because when you do that, really, you feel more loving. You feel more peaceful. You feel that you are in the flow, in the midst of confusion, in the midst of drama. You are like in the middle of the earthquake. Still, everything is happening all around you, but in the center is tranquilo, tranquil. Okay, so remember that. And so now, with that being said, I want to invite you to take a deep breath for our affirmations. Okay, take a deep breath. And the first affirmation is, it is so that with each inhale, I infuse kindness into the evolution of our diverse communities and rich culture. Take a deep breath. Can you read this next one?
It is so that through my breath, gentleness flows, fostering positive transformations.
Take a deep breath. And the last one, it says, it is so that I am a catalyst for compassion and I nurture growth wherever I go.
And so it is.
And so it is, and now it is. And with that, in that space of communion, in that space of oneness, I invite you to remember that there's only one power surrounding you all the time, in you, as you. There's only one. There's only one power, one mind, omnipresence, omniscience. It's all there is. There's not one place, there's not one person or one being that we see with these eyes that does not remind us of the oneness that it is within us. As you and me remember that you and me are as one with this that I call God, that I call love, that I call universe, whatever it is that you call it. Remember your oneness with it. And as we remember that oneness, we recognize that each one of us have the power to show up as love wherever we go, wherever we are in our communities, when we engage in social media, when we engage with our family, with our loved ones, with our community members, in politics, everywhere, we show up as love. We show up as the light. We show up as agents of shift, of a shifting the consciousness of human consciousness. So we are able to see beyond appearances. So we are able to see beyond the discrepancies, the all the other feelings or emotions that are not love, that are not compassion, that are not harmony. Everything unlike the qualities of God, we know is an illusion created by the ego, created by this human experience. Yet, as we created that, we have the power to continue to be the love, to be the light, to show light, to show peace, to show prosperity, abundance, and to be that as well. It is so good to remember and to embody each of those qualities. And as we embody those qualities, for us to know that we're not just remembering them for ourselves, but for all of us. And as we walk in this world, as we walk in this human experience, knowing that, anchoring on that, embracing it, being that, we are more likely to experience it. We are more likely to see others experience it. Just think of what a beautiful world we could be living in. What a beautiful world we can create. What a beautiful family connections, community connections, and being okay with allowing others to feel and be and have the emotions and their opinions, knowing that it's just that, opinions, and trusting in the love of God that lives within each one of them, that is dissolving, is dissipating all that is not love. I am so grateful and so thankful to know this truth for each one of us, because I know without a doubt that there's only one. Just like there's only one energy. There's not two energies. There's only one energy. This language that we're speaking, we'll call it spirit. Same thing. Spirit, energy, same thing. It's only one. And if there's only one, that means that there's only one of us. And remembering that all the time is a powerful practice that can bring us together and that can allow us to experience this human experience, a blissful human experience. I give thanks for this and so much more to be revealed to each one of us. And I release it knowing it is so. And so it is, and now it is. Ashe. Amen.
So it is, and now it is. Beautiful. You're a powerhouse. I love it.
Thank you. That was not me.
Spirit is a powerhouse.
Yes, that was spirit through me speaking.
Exactly.
Saying, remind them of my truth.
Exactly.
Remind them of your truth. That's what it's about. Remember. So here we are. We are about to remind you of what we do here for you. Patricia, can you help me with that, please?
Certainly. One Love Center has prayer professionals ready, willing, and able to remind you that spirit is full of power, charged and ready, already within you for your immediate use. So prayer requests for prayer can be sent again to oneLove@onelovecenter.org or call 844-295-5155. All prayer requests, as we mentioned earlier, are kept in strictest confidence. And can I end with a song I wrote?
Yes, you will end with a song you wrote.
Oh, yeah, okay. I will. Okay. It's a chant. It's a chant.
That's great. I think that that could be a great way for us to end our service today with our with our benediction to be that, if that's okay with you. That would be
Mhm.
perfect. I
Okay.
love it.
Okay.
I love that idea. See, we're just flowing here, people. We're allowing ourselves to be in the flow, okay?
Amen.
So, with that being said, we want to remind you also that we are very, very grateful again for your donations to One Love Center. And for those of you that are new here, this is your first time, just remember you can send your donations directly to One Love Center by going to onelovecenter.org, clicking on the donate button, and do the PayPal. You can also do Cash Me App, and that is $ One Love CSL. When you do that, we receive the money right away. And so we want to say thank you. And I want you to remember. There's one thing I want. This was a challenge. I can remember when it was a challenge for me. This, because to a lot of people it's a challenge because we don't understand it. But once we understand it, that when we share our good, we actually are giving to ourselves. Because remember, it comes back to us in so many ways, not from the places that we give a lot of times. It comes from resources, unexpected resources, and in amazing ways, or ways that you have never thought that they was gonna come to you. So trust me when I say that, okay? And so what I want to invite you is, I want to invite you to be in that space of giving, overflow of good in your life, and you giving from an overflow. That's why I say it's not about the amount, but it's about you feeling that you have more than enough. So if $1 it is what you have more than enough, that's okay. It is that okay now, because it's for spirit. It's not about and we're not doing for spirit either. We're not doing for God. We're not doing it for God. We're doing it for ourselves. We're doing it for ourselves. Okay. If One Love Center is supporting you spiritually, is feeding you spiritually, you can you can share your good with us. That's what you're doing. You're sharing your good. So the affirmation of abundance, let's put your hands in your heart, giving from a place of joy, of abundance, of prosperity. We repeat, money as one of the many gifts of spirit is good. As I share my offerings, I know that I'm actively creating a space to receive more gifts, more money, and more good. I am grateful for the ability to give and for the good works this gift do in our center and in our world. And now it is, and so it is. Thank you so much for sharing your good. And we want to remind you that if money is a challenge for you right now, right? You can always reach out to One Love Center and ask us how other ways that you can share your good, because money is not the only good that you have. You have many gifts that you can share with One Love Center. And we are asking if you are one person or if you know of someone that can support us in our broadcast, managing our broadcast, that will be great. We can train you to do that. We will train the person if they don't know, but as long as you have an open heart to learn and you have an open heart to give of your time, that's a gift that you can give to us as well. So we want you to go to One Love at onelovecenter.org. Send us an email, okay, or give us a call at 844-295-5155. And we are very grateful. We thank you for sharing this way of others sharing their good with us. So make sure that you do that, okay? We also have, since I'm in the announcements, we have our upcoming convention. We actually have two, right? We have one for the Latin America. But the one for the
Mm.
Latin America, I want to tell you that is bilingual. So if you don't speak Spanish, it's okay. It's translated simultaneously in English. And that is Chapala. We will be sending all the information soon. If you are not part of our newsletter, please, 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 please go to onelovecenter.org and sign up to receive our newsletter. We always sending you information about what's going on. But the one that is coming up with the people, the people of the African descent, is on August 1 to the 4, 2004. And you can see there the website where you can get the information for the registration. And registrations are right now actually on discount, so you can get that done. If you go for the one on Chapala, we don't have the registration yet, but you can save the date, and the date is from August 6th to the 10th, and that is in Mexico, and you will take a plane to Guadalajara. So if you want to know more information about it, again, you can connect with us directly, but we will be having the website very soon where you could get all the information. So those are the announcements that we have for now. I think that's about it for announcements. And now what we do is that we will have Patricia do a closing prayer, but also is going to be a closing song, and we will see you the following week. And we thank you for your time. We thank you for saying yes to One Love Center. We thank you for saying, I want to be part of this conversation and joining the celebration today. We personally, I'm grateful for your time, because I know that you can be doing a lot of things. There's so much stuff going on and so much events happening at the same time that sometimes it's challenging to choose one. Whether you're listening to this right now or you are listening to it later, that's great. Please, I would love for you to share your comments, share the broadcast on your social media pages so more people know about it, and let anyone know about our services so we can support anyone. We are here to support you in your journey. Okay. So, Patricia, you can go ahead and do the benediction and the closing prayer.
So let's just take a breath in. I am Goddess. I am Goddess. I am Goddess. God is love. You are Goddess. You are Goddess. You are Goddess. God is love, and we all Goddess. You know we are Goddess. We are Goddess. God is love. So just knowing right here and right now that each one of us is that beautiful, loving emanation of pure spirit, that each one of us is God, that infinite intelligence. And so how grateful we are to have been a part of this beautiful and loving and insightful discussion around gentleness, around love, around how we show up in the world. And so right here and right now, let us just be that mindfulness, understanding, and really think about how we show up in the world, showing up as that infinite intelligence, that love, that light that is God. And so I am totally internally grateful for being a part of this beautiful, beautiful service. So I release it. I let my word go. I know it is, and so it is. Amen and Ashe. Many blessings, everybody.